Namaskar. Very good morning to all of you. Thank you, Ms. Bhatnagar, for that good introduction. It's a pleasure for Ministry of MSME to be a part of this SME Transformation Forum organized by the ET now. Thank you, and I congratulate the organization for this wonderful meeting today. I hope your deliberation will bring out some very good roadmap suggestions that we can also learn from the industry and from the experts, people like you, who will be deliberating throughout the day. When you talk about the MSMEs, I don't think anybody in this room is new to MSME and what we do, what are some of the major schemes that we run, and how are we looking forward to Viksit Bharat at India 2047. But there might be just one or two who are, yet to really understand what Ministry of MSME does. So for that, I would just want to take all of us, Lord, all of us to see how MSMEs are, making the roadmap for India at 2047. When we look at the Ministry of MSME, we do the policy matters as Government of India does. And one of the key work intervention that we do is formalization of MSMEs. And so we know that for the longest time we are saying that it's 6.3 crore unit MSMEs in India. But we know that a whole lot of them are still under the informal segment. So our initiative is how do we bring all these informal segment under the formal sector, so that they become eligible for the PLI and also the many schemes that we run, not only in the MSMEs, but also the various ministries of Government of India. So the formalization drive started in 2020, and till today we are at 5+ crore, and we are hoping that by 2029 we reach at least 9 crore. And if you look at the total number of micro, small and medium, 3 segments that we cover, majority of us are, of the MSMEs are in the micro segment. And we are also trying to cover some of the SEG groups so that they too can come eligible for the PLI. So formalization drive we have started and it's doing well. And till today, if you look at it, then we employ about 21 crore people under the MSMEs. So today you will be deliberating about how do we generate employment. And so MSME plays a very, very important role. As far as the GDP contribution is concerned, it's around 30%. And if you look at the exports and manufacturing, it's also more than 45%. So it's a very important segment of the economy. The second part that we look at is credit and finance, and many of our credit schemes, I don't think you are new to that. PMEGP is our flagship, Prime Minister Employment Generation Fund. Through this credit, we try to create enterprises. We look at some of the rural and semi-urban areas mostly, so that they too can onboard under the formal mainstreaming their economic activities. And we also have SRI fund, which is a growth seat, and the total corpus is at 50,000 crore. And so if any of the MSMEs are having the potential to grow out of the MSME bracket, which is 250 crore turnover, then they can access this SRI fund. It's not a seed funding, it's a growth funding, equity funding. I think P. Uday Kumar, one of the members of the advisory board here, will be covering and taking you through that SRI fund. It's doing very well. And we are hoping that we will also be able to get more market people, corporates on board. And the third thing that we look at is technology infusion. Technology is very important, as we all know, because standardization and also getting all the certification required for marketing and for exports, it's also one of the key components to have the value chain. And so we already have 18 tool rooms which are already running. 15 more new are added, have been added, and another 5 more, because we are making a 20 technology centers which are of 200 crore worth of budget, and having 100 extension feeded to these technology centers, the main centers. So all these are also, many of them have been inaugurated, many of them are in the, in the offing, which will be inaugurated very shortly. The third component that we look at is at skilling and capacity building. Several schemes we run, NSQF compliant, some are our own because our technology centers have our own skilling and capacity building programs that meet the needs of the industry, the various moldings that are required. You know, when you look at the MSME landscape, it starts with some of the most basic products which are made with just bare hands or minimal tool. And then it goes up to the very high precision. And so thousands of critical components have been added by our own tool room at Bhubaneswar for the Chandrayaan satellite as well. So when we talk about the MSME landscape, it's huge. The variation is really large. And it's also not only manufacturing, but it also covers services and also trade. We also look at the competitiveness. How do we make our MSMEs competitive? And so for that, we have several schemes. I'm very sure you're already aware of it. Zero effect, zero defect, which our Honorable PM talks about. And we have just launched the zero effect, Z, we call it in short, Z 2.0 in Ranchi last month by our Honorable Minister. We also have lean scheme, and we also have innovation scheme. Now, today you're going to talk about innovation, impact, and so innovation scheme, we have already several institutions such as IIT, NIDs, and IIS. Some of these institutions have already been engaged as the agency to create a viable business model for those who have very good idea but do not know how to create a viable business model. So for that, we incubate their ideas. And we are giving a good sum of money for that. And so we conduct hackathons. And some of the latest hackathon was only on women. And so you can look up our innovation scheme as well. Many of the MSMEs are traditional. They do not have the wherewithal to increase or adapt easily to the trends that are there in the market. So we also brought this design scheme to diversify their products and also see how the market ecosystem is trending. So we brought this design scheme as well. And we also have this IPR. And intellectual property rights, that's a very important component for any business enterprise. And so we have brought this in as well. And you can look up to that. Now, one of the important component of our ministry is also market linkage. So we have 2-3 schemes that caters to our MSMEs to get exposure to the market trends, not only in the domestic, but also international. So one of the new initiatives that we have taken up is the first-time capacity building for exporters. So any of the MSMEs who wants to export and do not have much idea how to enter the export market, we are helping them get registered on the export promotion councils, and we are also helping them with the insurance of their products if they are first-timers, and we are also helping them get the certification required for exporting their products and making it market ready. So this CBFTE is doing very well also. One of our Viksit Bharat vision is to create one state-of-the-art, a one-stop center where all the MSMEs will go and get all their doubts cleared. They will get their capacity built up there. They will also get the hand-holding support. We are trying to build up that center in Hyderabad in our NIMSME, National Institute of MSME campus in Hyderabad. And so hopefully this will be launched, the laying of foundation and everything will be launched very shortly. And so here we would like to invite the industry association to come and give your suggestions, give your knowledge, how best, where are the markets available, and so we are doing that. GMIS was one of our initiatives that we have started for the last 2 years, and now Commerce Ministry is coming up with e-market platform. So we are subsuming our MSMEs chapter in that, so that all the features that we have envisaged, we will be subsuming under that e-trade platform under the Ministry of Commerce. So these are some of the initiatives that we have undertaken in the ministry to help exports. Because as you know, our Viksit Bharat, we want to double exports, and a whole lot of exports are coming from the MSME segment. Thank you. So those are some of the initiatives that we have taken up. Now, for the center-state collaboration, it's very important because, as you know, industry is a state subject. So under the Raising and Accelerating MSME Performance Scheme called RAMP, which is sponsored by World Bank, and so we are looking at strengthening the institutions and governance of MSME program. And under the Vertical 2, we are looking to support to market access, firm capabilities and access to finance. Because, you know, one of the bottlenecks of the MSME is market access, their products. How do we package? How do we brand it? How do we standardize their product? These are some of the challenges that MSMEs face. And so under the RAM program, we are trying to address some of these challenges. We are also working in the disbursement-linked indicators, DLIs, against the key results areas. And it will include the service sector, and it has also the greening and the gender initiatives, and it also will address some of the technology upgradation, and many of the schemes are under Z and Lean and also the innovation schemes of the MSMEs. So RAMP is a very big program, and we are having regular interaction with the state government so that the ecosystem of MSME can be built up to enable the MSMEs access the required help and become a vibrant segment to help in our economic growth. The very important initiative that we have taken, and you are all aware of the PM Vishwakarma, which we have just celebrated the first anniversary in Wardha on the 20th of this month, and our Honorable PM was the guest of honor there. So it is a scheme which is meant for 5 years, and the government has given us the target of covering 30 lakh artisans, 18 trades, covering 18 trades. But on the first anniversary itself, we have covered 21 lakh registration already. So it's doing very well. 18 trades are being covered. Many of the artisans, which needs to be brought under the formal umbrella, is doing very well. We are reaching out to not only the urban and semi-urban, but also the rural areas through our PM Vishwakarma scheme. And we want to be inclusive in our growth, not only gender-wise, but also looking at some of the social segment communities like SCs, STs, OBCs, Divyanjan. Some of these sectors also we would like to cover. So we have schemes specific for them. But under our Yashashwini initiative, we have taken up this with Niti Aayog, WEP platform. I think many of you are aware of that. And we want this initiative to be not very sarkari, but we want the corporates flavor to come in here. Because we, for any business to grow, we need corporates. So here we are collaborating with Niti Aayog WEP platform. We have engaged Ministry of RD, Rural Development, because they have 10 crore SEG, women SEG groups. So we would like to bring them and give them mentorship. I think mentorship is one very critical help that the MSMEs require. So here we are trying to bring the mentorship. We are trying to onboard them on the market. And through our team scheme, which is also sponsored under the RIM, one of the components under the RAMP scheme, the team scheme will also help on board on ONDC. It will also help with the e-market platforms and so many other components, especially looking at the gender disparity. We are trying to address that. And one of our vision at the Ministry of MSME is by 2029, we would like to see the formalization, 50% should be women. So we are working through various initiatives, like Yashashwini is one of them. We would like to also engage other related ministries. WCD would be one, MOTA, Tribal Affairs would be one, and there are several ministries which are lined up so that we can also help the women entrepreneurs to come up. And one of the initiatives that we have undertaken is also called Samarth. Samarth initiative, we are giving them reservation for women to enter the formal economic mainstreaming their economic activities. So that initiative is also doing very well. We have reserved 20%, and we are seeing that we are achieving more than that. And you are already aware of the public procurement policy of the government, where 4% is for SC/ST, mandatorily procurement from these categories, and also 3% from women. We are yet to reach the target, but in our several meetings with various bodies, we realized that not everybody was updating their procurement status on Samadhan and also on the GEM portal. So through our regular interaction, we are now monitoring it better, and the monitoring also improves. And I think it is now at 1.58 for SC/STs, and women are almost nearing 2%. And so regularly on a monthly basis, we are trying to monitor and help and try to address where the gaps are, where the challenges are. So these are some of the things that we are doing at the ministry level. And you are already aware that we signed the bilateral relation with US Small Business Associates of USA. And so under that also we are taking up three first initiatives, which is greening the MSME landscape, gender, which is women, and also technology infusion. So we will be also taking up with the USA government on our bilateral platform. And many FTAs we have already signed, and in all those FTAs, SME chapters are there. And so in that also we are trying to see how best we can enable our MSMEs to enter the global value chain. And we are already engaging with Japan and Taiwan in a big way. So one team will be again leaving for Taiwan. And Taiwan has got its own strength, so we are trying to see how best we can leverage some of their strength. Japan has already started engaging with our technology centers through capacity building such as Kaizen and 5S. And we are trying to also broad base, not only in our technology centers, but all the skilling centers of our country. So there are several engagements such as this, and it will not be possible for me to name each and every schemes that we do. But MSME plays a very important role, and we need experts and industries like you all, corporate bodies, to come, because for the business, we really need you. So I hope that today you will have a good, meaningful, and some solid recommendation that will come up. And we would like to see some of these recommendations, suggestions that we can also learn and also incorporate in some of our policy making as well. So thank you very much, ET Now, for having me, and I wish you the very best. And I hope that this kind of interaction will continue, because we need to talk to each other and to learn from you, because we truly depend upon corporate houses and business experts like you all to give us ideas and suggestions so that we can bring the best policies for our MSMEs to thrive. Thank you very much, and Jai Hind.